Hi, I'm Les from Tabletop Tastings, and today I've got the owner Joey Vigil of Squeak Inc Games with us, and he's launching a Kickstarter in the near future. Joey, how you doing?
I'm doing well. It's
Fantastic.
a great
Can you,
intro.
so happy to have you here. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
So I'm 31 years old. I'm an engineer, moved back home to Colorado. I was just playing board games constantly. I noticed a lot of similarities between some of the board games we were playing, and I was like, oh, what if I made another board game in this genre?
You've got a Kickstarter coming out, and it's called Gorbino's Quest. Tell us about your game, please.
Gorbino's Quest is a competitive strategy game where you build cities, where you buy cards that allow you to do more actions. So pretty much it's just a competitive strategy game.
Okay, awesome. Where did you get the name from? It's so unique.
There's a video game that came out. It was called Cruelty Squad. It's a shooter and it's in some dystopian future. But in the game, there's an advertisement for Gorbino's Quest. It says 500 hours of mind pumping action for this game. And I thought, oh man, that's so silly. I was like, that would be such a funny name for a game. I would
That's
love if someone actually made that game.
that's awesome.
Yes.
Now, for this game, you've been working with Panda Game Manufacturing, a game manufacturer with a huge portfolio, and they've helped produce games like Root,
Oh yeah.
Wingspan, and Scythe. How did that partnership with them begin, and what's that experience
Um,
been like?
I think anyone can partner with them as long as they get the funding.
So it's just a matter of giving them a call, right? And ask it type thing,
I
or
have because I
gotcha.
imagine like a lot of people start making a game, but they never reach their funding goals. And then like Panda's not even going to work with you until you are able to produce that like quantity of games.
Okay, so that's interesting. So they're really
Mhm.
like you reach out to them, they come back and they say, if you can hit this number, then we'll work with you or we'll produce it, right? So you're actually pretty early on in the process with them then. Is that kind of the idea?
Yes, the prototypes I've made through Print Play Games, and those you just send in the print files, they print it out, and it's much more expensive. But if you're mass producing like 1,000 of them, 2,000 of them, the cost goes down to $10 or $15 per game. It's so much less, and also the quality is like so much better too.
Now, with your game, I do genuinely love the artwork. And you've credited Armanda Corona and Artistic Yomi. The cards are almost like watercolor and they look really cool. The boards
Yeah.
is very kind of root-esque and it looks great. How did you land on that art style? And what's it like working with artists for a board game?
On my wall, there's a fantasy map that one of my friends drew for me. And I was like, oh my gosh, this looks so amazing. So when I first decided to make a board game, I was like, what could the map be? I drew the initial like prototype myself, but it wasn't colored. I even tried coloring with colored pencils, but it was just not that good. So that's when I went to Reddit starving artists. I said, could someone professionally color this? So I found someone who's already done like a ton of maps, and he did such an amazing job, man. I thought he was just gonna like color it and add texture to things, but he ended up redrawing a lot of the things. It just looked so much better than I thought it was gonna be.
They look fantastic, absolutely fantastic.
I was blown away by all of them.
Okay, that's pretty sweet. Now, in your Kickstarter preview, there are some pretty big stretch goals in there. I mean, you've got 500,000 for metal coins, 1 million for development of a digital edition.
Yes.
Your game does look great, but that's a huge target for a first-time Kickstarter.
Yeah. I'll be happy as long as it reaches the initial goal.
Yeah, okay, okay, excellent. If people do want to learn more about you or want to follow you, where can they find you?
On squeakinkgames.com. There's a few socials on the top, and also you can email me, joey at squeakinkgames.com.
Hi, Les here. We had to cut our interview a little bit short. Joey's internet went down. What's not in the video is that Joey and I did actually end up talking for about 45 minutes about Kickstarter and the process. And I get the feeling he may not be quite as prepared for this Kickstarter as he thinks. My recommendation was to slow down and to take his time with it. If you do back, just a little bit of caution. There may be some delays or slowdowns as he figures out the process, because this is his very first time backing. I do wish Joey the very best. I'm excited to follow his career and see where he goes. I'm Les from Tabletop Tastings. I hope I've given you a little bit more. Have a great day.